COVID has humbled all of us. My first thought when I realized that Quince had to close was, what was going to happen to our staff? What were people going to do? All the purveyors and farmers that we work with, everybody that made the whole dining experience what it is.
Quite frankly, that was one of the hardest parts about COVID, is seeing all of our restaurant family and friends struggle to survive financially.
Monterey Abalone Company's business model has been to sell directly to restaurants, and it's been that way since the beginning in 1990 when we started. So it's been a stretch for us to figure out what are we going to do to stay alive in this situation.
The impact has been varied, I would say. It's been challenging in terms of all of our favorite restaurants closing, and just painful, actually, to see these restaurants going dark.
Yeah, the farming and the restaurant, it's a continuum, right? It's from the soil to the table. That's the ultimate connection.
I've worked with Michael in the restaurant for close to 20 years, and the goal has always been to have his guests experience the freshest food. When the pandemic hit and Michael had to close the restaurant in the city, we found we had an opportunity to actually bring the guests out to the farm and have them experience the food just, really close to where it's actually grown.
It's really what's on the plate, and when we have that sense of immediacy of something that's just been harvested, it allows us to, in this instance, do a little bit less because we have so much more in front of us. Something that's always been extremely important to me has been where food comes from. That's how I was trained as a chef. When indoor dining was no longer viable, it was kind of a slam dunk to come up with Quince at the Farm, because it allowed us to get folks to understand not only the importance of the ingredients, but also the importance of the raw products that literally sit in front of them in the field where they were eating.
A benefit of COVID is just reminding all of us, like food makers, dairies, doesn't matter if it's cheese or meat or veggies or eggs, how important that relationship is with the chef.
As a farmer, we depend on restaurants, and restaurants depend on us, and it's a very close-knit community. The recent shift in that perspective has drawn us closer together.
I'm an eternal optimist, and there's always a positive that comes out of everything. So it really takes some soul searching to see what the positive is that comes out of COVID.
The COVID crisis is devastating to our economy. It's devastating to the lives of many, many people and families. But any kind of a crisis like this is always going to teach us. It's going to be a lesson learned. And it's going to make us better people and maybe a better community and a better society in the future.
Because of COVID, we have a chance to recalibrate the entire restaurant business, not just in San Francisco, but all around the country. From sustainability practices to global pandemics, it's apparent if we don't adapt, we just won't make it. I'd say what makes Quince special at the farm is the cumulative effect of seeing how a restaurant works with a farmer and the changing dynamic of how the farmer and restaurant can ultimately survive together.